What's up, everyone? I'm Nicole from Elevate.
You're supposed to say this is Nicole and Taylor.
Oh, okay.
I hate being like, and this is Taylor. And we are going to synchronize now.
Okay. What's up, everyone? This is Nicole and Taylor from Elevate. Today we're going to talk to you guys about getting your first pull-up.
So we're going to go over the pull-up progression that we use with all of our members. And this is used for somebody that we're assuming has no pull-up skills whatsoever. They're working on upper body strength. So we're going to take you from kind of the very basics up to getting your first pull-up. So you can use anywhere along this progression based on where you are with your skill. Now with body weight movements, just like a weighted barbell movement, we're going to start light. So you want to alleviate some body weight however you can. So the ring row is kind of the first way to do that. So we're going to go over a few different variations of ring row. Nicole's going to show us how we do it, but starting with an incline ring row to where you're still standing kind of tall. This allows you to eliminate some of the resistance. And then we're just going to pull those elbows back, keep it nice and close. It's kind of like the opposite of a push-up. And it's just to start on your pulling strength. Now, as you get better at this, you're going to walk yourself down, with the goal being that we're directly under the rings on the ring row. So she's got a nice flat torso all the way through. Her knees are bent at 90 degrees. Now if Nicole wants to make this even harder and go the next step, she can straighten her legs. Now I've got a strict ring row. Right. What we can do is move to an inverted row on the barbell. So that's going to look similar to the ring row. We're still working on that horizontal pulling strength. And that's where we want to start because that's kind of the easiest thing before we get to the vertical pull. So let's show the inverted row. Now when we set these up, you want to make sure you're full lockout from the ground. So Nicole's going to go to full lockout. It helps if maybe she's a little bit off the ground, so this could probably be a little bit higher just by one notch, but it's going to be a similar movement to our ring row. And we're still keeping nice and flat in the torso. You can bend your legs and keep your feet flat. And you're just pulling all the way up to your chest. And again, making it harder, you just straighten out your legs. Now you have more body weight to pull up with each row. So those are our horizontal pulling motions. So we've got the ring row, you have the inverted row, and then we want to start training you to go vertically with your pull, because that's really what the pull-up is. So the next step we're going to take is to bring that barbell up so that we can do what we call a seated pull-up. So with the seated pull-up, we're going to raise that barbell up so that while she's sitting on the ground, she can get into an overhead position. Now, the tough thing about this is keeping your hips down under you, and that's what we want because that's how the pull-ups are done. If you start to bring your hips forward, it's more like a row and it's going to be a lot easier to do. So I'm going to have Nicole perform this by pulling her elbows straight down to the ground. And she can just kind of dig her heels in to keep her static, but notice she's keeping her hips down in line with the bar. So that would be your first step. Now to make that harder, we can have her raise her feet up on a small box. And this is just going to add body weight to the movement. So now she's floating, she has to do the same movement. So this is a good way to get your strict reps in and really build up that vertical pulling strength before we go to the next step. So we've got seated pull-up without the elevated feet and then seated pull-up with elevated. So the last piece of the progression before you get to the strict pull-up is doing a negative on the pull-up bar. Now, if you're strong enough to jump up and get your chin over the bar, then you can do that. If not, just feel free to jump on a box, however you can get your chin up to start. And then we're going to control ourselves down really slowly in that downward or the eccentric phase of the pull-up. You want to control that all the way down until we get to lockout and then restart from the top. I'd recommend doing these in sets of 3 to 5, whatever you can handle. But try to count to 4 or 5 on the way down and you'll really build up that strength on the pull-up rig.
All right, so those are the basic movements that will allow you to be well on your way to getting your first strict pull-up. Just remember to not get frustrated along the way. Pull-ups are really difficult. It can take a lot of time to build up not only your core strength, but your upper body pulling strength. So Commit to doing those things consistently, week after week.
Yeah, it's just like any strength training, body weight movement's no different. So use that progression, take your time, get plenty of reps as you go, and then once you get up to the strict pull-up and you want to become more efficient, then look out for our next video on kipping pull-ups and butterfly pull-ups.
Make sure you guys subscribe, and we will see you next time.